Hello, and welcome to the Grade 2 Music Theory Untangled course. The lessons for this video series for Grade 2 assume that you have completed the work in the Grade 1 Music Theory Untangled course. There are 9 video lessons, quizzes, and worksheets. Watch this short video for Lesson 5, which focuses on semitones, intervals, and scales, then find the concepts discussed in your concept sheets. Refer to these concepts as you complete the short online quiz, then as you complete the worksheets for this lesson. Mark your work using the answer sheets, and remember that there will sometimes be more than one correct answer. Let's get the ball rolling. Before starting work on the Lesson 5 worksheets, it's a good idea to revise your key signatures, scale degree numbers, and semitone patterns for major and harmonic minor scales. Also revise stem directions, as a lot of students put stems on the wrong side of a note head or in the wrong direction, and you will lose marks in an exam if your stems are not in the correct place. Let's look at intervals. Intervals are the distance between two notes. Count the lowest note as 1, then count up the notes of the scale, including the starting and finishing notes. Name the interval the scale degree number you landed on. This is a major second. How do I know? The key signature has no sharps or flats and the bottom note is C. If I count up from C to the top note, and C is note 1, then from C to D is 1 to 2. Therefore the interval is a second. I know from my sheets that a second is always a major interval, regardless of the key signature. This is a perfect fourth. How do I know? The key signature has an F sharp, so I am in G major. The bottom note is G, therefore note 1. If I count up from G to the top note C, I am counting 1, 2, 3, 4, therefore the interval is a fourth. I know from my sheets that fourths are always perfect intervals. In other words, they don't change whether the key is major or minor. So my answer is perfect fourth. This interval is a third, but is it major or minor? Firstly, count up from E to G, 1, 2, 3, which gives me a third. The key sign tells me it could be G major or E minor, but if I look at the bottom note, it's an E, therefore I'm in E minor, which makes this interval a minor third. For it to be a major third, the top note would need to be a G sharp, as E major has a G sharp in the key signature. The most common mistakes students make are putting stems on the wrong side of the note head or in the wrong direction, having inaccurate key signatures, or placing the sharps in the wrong order, and with intervals not counting the lowest note as 1 but 0. It doesn't matter what key you are in. Unison, fourths, fifths and octaves will always be perfect intervals. Seconds and sevenths will always be major intervals. When naming a third or a sixth, use the bottom note as the key and then see if the top number is in that key's major key sign. If not, then it will be minor. You are now ready to work through the Lesson 5 online quiz, then the worksheets. The information in this lesson can be found in your concept sheets. Refer to these as you complete the online quiz, then again as you complete the worksheets for this lesson. Mark your work by comparing your answers to the answer sheets, and remember, there can be more than one correct answer for each question. See you next lesson.